to the target, in this case, the chin of Klitschko, it has no value. And to do that, he has to get close enough to catch Klitschko, as you can see, as he pulls back. And how do you get close enough? Well, one thing is you move your head and you move your feet. You move your head to the side, get outside his jab, and then move your feet forward and take steps to converge on Klitschko, to close the gap. Right now, it looks like Leapai, at least he's got one part down. He's moving his head, and he's trying to move the feet forward. You are not going to win a fight if there's distance between you and Klitschko.
Of course, Wladimir
Klitschko's, and then moving his feet to try to close that gap. Looked like he got caught on top of the head there.
There's a knockdown scored here just over a minute into round one.
Body language of Leapai is good, though. Doesn't look hurt, and he's acting like the referee made a mistake. He's basically saying that he slipped on some of those graphics, some of the painting in the middle of the ring, which sometimes can get very slippery. So far, I believe Leapai. He doesn't look hurt. But if he eats any more of those right hands, that might change.
See Klitschko setting up the table behind that jab, was able to land the power of the right hand moments ago.
Yeah, that's what Klitschko does. You know, I mean, if you go to dinner in the average household, you use your knife to prepare your food and your fork to eat it. In the ring, Klitschko's jab is the knife and the right hand is his fork. That's how he eats. And the meal in front of him right now, 248-pound Leapai. One thing that I don't like is the weight of Leapai, Joe. Came in heaviest of his career. Heck of a time to be coming in the heaviest of your career when you're in with the biggest threat of your career.
Leapai checked in at 248 pounds on that 6-foot frame. Klitschko's 247 and a half.
Klitschko's defense and offense work together. Defense to stay away. His offense is to have enough range to catch you at the end of his jab.
So a steady and predictable first round for the heavyweight champion.
Winds up hurting guys with the left hook. They're just not expecting it.
So all that steady work with the jab from Klitschko in round one. Among his superlatives, calculated by CompuBox, Klitschko averages 10 jabs per round. That is the most in the heavyweight division.
And there's two kinds of jabs. I'm glad you brought up the jab. There's two versions of a jab for Klitschko. One is the setup, the range finder. The other one is the destructive punch that he's using right now. The one that pushes through and does damage and sets up the right hand. The other one, again, just a range finder. Right now he's using the aggressive one, the destructive one.
And in that first round, he did land 10 jabs, so he's right on his average.
Yeah, there will be time you'll see that adjustment where Klitschko will just float that jab out. Right now, again, snapping it out. Always looking to set up really the punch that he wants to land, the right hand.
And Leapai has seen a couple of those blinded right hands where he's moving the jab away just as the right hand is then coming through after it.
Well, that's what he tries to do. That's Klitschko's Sunday punch, his forte. Blind you with the jab, mesmerize you with the jab, brush stroke your eyes with the jab, and then have a right hand right behind it where your brain had no time to register a right hand was coming, no time to steel yourself, no time to prepare yourself, and the right hand puts you to sleep. That's exactly, just look at it. That's what Klitschko's doing, trying to catch Leapai blind. People say, Teddy, Klitschko has no versatility. You're right, but it's not broke. He's not fixing it. He's good at one thing. There's something to be said at being good and effective at one thing. Controls range real well, keeps you where it's bad for you, good for him. And again, uses that long jab to set up the right hand.
Coming to the end of round number 2, Wladimir Klitschko in control. Leapai just trying to move that head out of the way. He came out lunging with a left hand to open up this third round, but now falling back into the style we saw earlier.
And now you're seeing a version of the other jab of Klitschko that I alluded to earlier. You're seeing where he's just pushing it out there, just measuring with it, keeping Leapai in front of him, looking to do that. Set up the finishing blow, the right hand. You're not seeing that damaging jab right now.
There's a right hand off the top of the head, landed by Klitschko.
You're seeing that decoy jab right now. Decoy, decoy. Just keeping him busy, keeping him where he wants him, and then looking to sneak in the right hand. You are seeing a little more versatility from Klitschko than I've seen in the past, Joe. You know, mixing up uppercuts, showing a little bit more of a range of punches, a little more of a repertoire of punches than usually when you only see that jab and right hand down the middle. I think the reason you're seeing that, he's very comfortable with Leapai. I mean, he's got a punching bag with gloves on in front of him right now, who's not closing the gap.
He cannot close the gap at all with that steady jab. There he comes windmilling in with a right hand, and Klitschko just easily steps away and gets back to business.
This style for an opponent like Leapai, not only does it deteriorate you physically, but mentally. It frustrates you because you start to lose hope. Because if you can't touch the other man, how do you have hope?
Three-punch combination landed sharply by Klitschko. And there comes the thudding right hand again.
And again, the distance where Leapai is standing right now is good for Klitschko. Impossible for Leapai because Leapai cannot win on the outside.
End of 3. They'll fight for the WBC heavyweight title live on ESPN. That's Saturday, May 10th, 8 o'clock Eastern. For now, round number 4 of the guy who has all the other belts, Wladimir Klitschko. The only one he's missing is that WBC belt that his brother vacated. As the lineal champion, by all accounts, the recognized heavyweight champion of the world, in complete control against Alex Leapai.
Most of the fights for
right
Leapai, most of Leapai's fights have been in Australia. This is only his second time fighting in Germany. See how well he travels here? Not so good. It's been a bumpy ride so far. Klitschko has fought in Germany, Joe, 47 times. Matter of fact, some people consider him more German than Russian.
Ukrainian-born, of course, has made his career here in Germany, where he's widely popular, splits time living in Germany and in South Florida.
And the rest of his time he spends fighting guys that don't know how to get close.
That's right. And a long, long title reign of guys trying to close that gap and unable to do so since his last loss back in April of 2004. This would be his 16th straight title defense. That is being ruled a slip by Eddie Cotton.
For you great historians out there, only Joe Louis and Larry Holmes have more heavyweight title defenses. Joe Louis 25, Larry Holmes 20. Again, it's all about range. It's all about this. That time for going for broke is upon us.
Series of right hands raining in here in the final minute of round number 4 as Leapai struggles to find an answer against Klitschko. Joe Tessitore and Minneapolis with coverage here of the heavyweight championship fight, Klitschko and Leapai. You just brought up what it would mean if he defends the title today. 16 straight. Lewis 25 straight. Larry Holmes 20. But knowing this era of heavyweights that he's been on this run against, how do you stack up Wladimir Klitschko historically?
No Joe Lewis, no Larry Holmes. I'm sorry, not to knock what he's done. Numbers don't lie. They're great. They're terrific. I applaud him. More importantly, he gets paid well for producing those numbers, so I don't have to applaud him. But he has 3 losses, Klitschko, all 3 by knockout. And the names, the level of those losses, those kind of guys never beat Joe Lewis, and they never beat Larry Holmes, Lamont Brewster, Corey Sanders, Ross Purity. Some of you are going to say who? Well, exactly my point. Who? That level, those kind of opponents, again, never beat the great Joe Lewis, and they didn't beat Larry Holmes.
Vitaly Klitschko, older brother, looking on here. He vacated his WBC title belt. Chris Arreola and Berman Stavern will fight for that vacant piece of the heavyweight title May 10th on ESPN from Los Angeles.
You don't want to stand in front of any opponent, not just Klitschko, but Klitschko can make you pay a bigger price than most opponents if you stand in front. That happens. You get hit with a right hand off a blind jab. And that's exactly what happens when you stand right in front of a guy with the length and size and power that Klitschko has. And there he goes.
Big thudding blow from Wladimir Klitschko.
Lot of time left. Lot of time left. 1 minute, 10 seconds. An eternity for a fighter that's been hurt and is in front of a guy that so far he's had no ability to get close to.
Second knockdown of the round. Leapai absolutely pummeled and hopeless here. Victory, Wladimir Klitschko yet again. Sixteen straight title defenses now for Klitschko. Teddy, it went exactly the way you thought the script would play out.